No, he already hit that one. There we go. There we go. Let's clap it up. Clap it up. All right. All right. All right. It's Monday night class. This is history class. We're gonna dive into a little bit of history. You know what I mean? Tonight's class. The title of tonight's class is um what I said tonight. Oh, have mercy. Modern day slavery in America. We're gonna go on a little history and current events. You understand? This history and this current events going to be related to this modern day slavery. We're gonna get into it. Before we get into it, we're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana. We've been bringing this truth since 1969. And what is that truth? The truth is the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives are the true biblical Jews of the Bible and the oppressors, the devil that the Bible speaks of. And when we say devil, the only thing we're talking about is deceiver. Who deceives everybody across the face of the earth is our oppressor. You understand? And like I said, tonight, the title of tonight's class is Modern Day Slavery in America. And we're going to go over history and current events, A lot of things have been happening, you understand? We had a great day at camp Saturday, too. I just want to get that in, you know what I mean? We had a nice day at camp Saturday, you know what I mean? And I actually got this title from, it made me think about it while we were at camp Saturday. You understand? Modern day slavery, man. And a lot of times, because we've been in America so long, a lot of our brothers and sisters don't realize that we are enslaved. You understand? We are prisoners of war. We are under our oppressor. You understand? And because we've been under our oppressor for so long, a lot of us don't believe that we're being oppressed or even that we're enslaved. You understand? But we're going to go over a couple of things to bring some things into remembrance. You understand? History tends to repeat itself, especially when we don't know history, when we don't have an understanding of who we are, when we try to be as our oppressor. You understand? When we think of slavery in modern times, we don't associate ourselves with that sect. What's going on, sis? You know, it's, when we look at the things that's going on over in Gaza, the things that are happening over there in Israel, you understand? We look at the Palestinians as being prisoners. You understand? They call that Palestinian land, they call that, what do they call that? They call that an open air prison. You understand? And basically, everything is being controlled coming into Palestine. You understand? By the so-called Israelis. You understand? We have to understand that the things that are happening to those Palestinians have been happening to us for almost 500 years. We don't see it, though. You understand? We don't see that. We don't think that we are enslaved today because you can get up, jump in your car, and you can go wherever you want at any time. We don't see that as slavery, but slavery is a lot more than that. We got to understand that. They have something over in Israel called mowing the lawn. You ever heard of that? Mowing the lawn? You ever heard of that, Alizar? Mowing the lawn? Well, check this out. It's incredible, the terms that they use. And then it's more incredible that people all around the earth know what that means and allows it to happen. Well, what mowing the lawn means is every so often, the so-called Israelis or the so-called small hat or the so-called Jewish man comes out into Gaza and they begin to unalive Palestinians for no reason at all. It's called mowing the lawn. This is a term that's widely known in the international world. Nations know that it happens. You understand what I'm saying? But they allow it to happen. Think about this. How often has that happened to us? Think about it. Think about Tulsa, Oklahoma. Think about Seneca Village. Think about Rosewood. Think about all of those black communities we had in North Carolina, South Carolina, all up and down the East Coast and across. Right. You understand? Remember all of those cities and towns that were burned? You can slide over a little more, sis, right to the end right here. I don't want you to feel like you alienated. You know what I mean? Just in case you got, you got some questions or anything like that, you can ask your question. But don't worry about it, Alizai. Just because it's probably not going. It's not going to do. It's not going to really do nothing. So it's on TikTok, but it was this. It's not compared. You got it, man? Yeah. Let's see here. That's cool. Yep, that's cool. Where's I at? Where was I at? But yeah, all right. Well, just think about what I was talking about, right? Think about all of the black cities and towns that got burned down. Think about all of the things that happened to us, all the way from the late 1800s into the early 1900s and abroad. I talked about this Saturday. Remember, in Philadelphia in 1985, that 3-block radius that they bombed in Philadelphia because they bombed the MOVE movement. They bombed one house and destroyed 3 neighborhoods. You heard about that, sis? The MOVE movement in 1985 in Philadelphia. You understand what I'm saying? They unalived, bombing one house, they destroyed 3 blocks of neighborhoods. They could care less. That's mowing the lawn. You understand? Seeing a brother just got unalive maybe a couple of weeks ago. They said he hung himself. You understand? That happens all the time. You understand? They just don't report it all the time. How about all of the brothers that they found behind that prison? Over 200 bodies behind the prison. You understand? Down south. That happens all the time. You understand? America mows the lawn all the time. We hear these things that happen to these other people in other nations, Palestine and everything like that. We hear about these people and we don't associate ourselves with it. Everything that happens to these people in these other nations have already happened to us. They call Gaza a petri dish, meaning if you want to test any kind of weapon, if you want to test any kind of drug, this is where they took it at. But remember, they did that to us first. You understand? Tuskegee experiments. Think about all of that. All of these things have already happened to us, but we forget. You understand? We forget. Matter of fact, grab a scripture. I want to grab a scripture. Homegrown slave.
Is Israel a homegrown slave?
Yeah.
That's not Isaiah.
Come.
So what is this term? Like
Mowing the lawn?
Is it slander or is it political? Like is it
No, listen.
military?
No, listen.
It's 2 and 14, Jeremiah.
2 and 14, start at 13 for me.
It's Jeremiah 2 and 13. My people have committed 2 evils.
We have committed 2 evils. Go ahead.
They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters,
Go ahead.
and hewed them out cisterns, broken cisterns that can hold no water.
Think about that, right? We have committed 2 evils, right? Read that again.
My people have committed 2 evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, and hewed them out cisterns, broken cisterns that can hold no water. Verse 14 is Israel a servant.
Nuh-uh, we're going to stop right there at 13 first. What's that again? I ain't paying attention at all. I need to. My bad. What was it? Where we at again? That was
Jeremiah 2:13.
2 and 13. I'm already there, right? Look, it says, for my people have committed two evils. You understand? Anytime we leave out the Most High, that's committing an evil. Because when you leave out the Most High, you turn away from the Most High. You turn to the world. We turn to America. You understand? That's committing an evil, turning away from the power, turning to something that has no power. You understand? We look to America for everything. They got us voting right now. Think about this, right? And this is how destroyed we are as a people. They got us voting, and we've been voting since the 1950s, and our condition has not changed. That's committing an evil, turning away from the Most High to turn to something that cannot help you, that cannot save you. Us as a people, we always look to a people that cannot save us. It tells us that in the scriptures. Looking towards a people that cannot save you. We always looking towards somebody else but the Most High. You understand? Hewn them out cisterns, broken cisterns. We put our energy and everything that we have into something that cannot help us, cannot hold water. You understand? We forsake the living waters for something that cannot help us. You understand? Go ahead.
Verse 14.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled?
It says, is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? You know what a homeborn slave is? Think about a homeborn slave. Think about being born into slavery. Think about the first people that came over here on the boat. They knew they were slaves, right? Their children. Did their children know they were slaves? No, they did, because the parents told them. But after you go through so many generations, you feel like this is regular life. Think about the children in Gaza again, right? Those children born into Gaza know nothing but what they see. Hearing those bombs every day, seeing shelling, hearing shelling every day, that's normal life. Think about the neighborhoods that we live in. We hear gunshots every day. You see people hear gunshots and keep on walking like ain't nothing happening. That's a homeborn slave. We get so used to being in America that we think this is normal life. This is not normal life. We are homeborn slaves. The things that we live in right now, the way that we live in right now, think about it. Living in the ghettos, living in the hood, we love it. That's a part of life. That's what we say. That's a part of life. That's not a part of life. It's not the way the Most High created this earth for us to live in. We should not be living like this. We should be running this earth. This is a homeborn slave. When you're in a condition and it seems normal to you, you want to stay right where you are. A lot of us, I ain't never leaving the hood. You understand? I'm a ride or die. You understand what I'm saying? We say that. And we believe it. And we live it. Because we're homeborn slaves. You understand? We put our love, our life, and our soul into America. And America gives us nothing back. It says right here, why is he spoiled? You know what a spoil is? You know what a spoil is?
A ruin.
A rue?
When you're ruined.
When you're ruined? Nah, that's not a
Talking
spoil.
about like spoiling somebody. When you talk about something that gets spoiled.
Why is he spoiled? Listen, when a pirate raids a ship, what does he take? He takes the spoils. He takes the jewels. He takes the valuables. Why are we spoiled? Why does the other nations spoil us? Why are we a spoil to the other nations? We are spoiled to the other nations because we give ourselves to the other nations. Think about this, right? How many brothers in prisons are Muslims? They are spoiled to Islam. How many of us are Christians out here? Spoiled to Christianity. Listen, think about it, right? These religions use us as a spoil. They make money off, especially Christianity. How many times your grandmother been to church, been back and forth to church, praying for everything, and gave up everything in her purse? Has she received that blessing yet? We all know she haven't. All our grandmothers got robbed. Let's just admit it. She'd take part of her money and give me a quarter so I could put it in there. You understand what I'm saying? I used to keep it though, so I could play video games. That I got out of church, but this is the reason why we're spoiled. Look at our neighborhoods. Look at the Asians in our neighborhoods. We are spoiled to the Asians. We are spoiled to the Arabs. We are spoiled to the Africans because all of these people come into our neighborhoods and they take from us and don't give back. Go ahead, what you great say?
No, to add on to us being spoiled by our grandmothers, it's like we get spoiled by believing the same thing they believe.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like following the same tradition they follow. And then if you go against that, then you look at us wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Because you know why? Because our grandmothers and grandfathers were homeborn slaves.
right.
They were brought up to believe that if you follow Christianity, then in the afterlife you're gonna be living on streets of gold. You're gonna be living in a land of milk and honey. I believed all of that. I believed all of that because my grandmother, grandfather, my mother, my father, and all of them believed it. This is why we are a homeborn slave. This is why we are spoiled to these other nations. You understand? We don't look at ourselves as being a slave. Are you a slave, sis? I said, I think so. She said, now, like, if I'd have caught her when she came in the door, hell no, I ain't no slave, you know? That's how we feel. You know what I mean? Believe it or not, I believed I wasn't. But look how we being controlled by the Americas. Think about it, right? Go ahead.
That's my slave.
That's your who?
That's my slave.
Your rib right there? That's your rib. But both of y'all slaves. We all slaves. You feel me? But being in this truth, we understand who we are and we understand how to get out of it. You understand what I'm saying? So in actuality, yeah, we are in America, but we are not of America. But think about the millions of our brothers and sisters that's still out there that are in America, that are America. You understand? They running out there. Listen, how many of our brothers and sisters gonna be running out there voting?
A lot.
That's a
Too many.
That's a homegrown slave. They truly believe in their heart that if we vote, something gonna happen. You understand? Think about it, right? As a kid, how many times, think about the people that when Christmas time rolled around, they wrote on that Christmas list, I want a horse. And every year it ain't come. But every year they wrote, because they said one day it's going to pop. That's what's happening to us. This is Christmas. You understand? This is Christmas. Man, something going to happen. They talk about reparations. The couple of months right before it's time to vote, they get to talking about reparations. Yeah, oh, that's who we voting for right there. That's the gift right there. That's the gift right there. We feel like, oh, we put our thing in that right there. I know. Just like Barack Obama, who everybody thought Barack Obama came in. I know we getting reparations now. Until start going on to the Denali, the Yukon site. Oh yeah, I'm ordering this truck right here. You know, I'm gonna have this. And what happened? 8 years, he gone. 4 years, he's still gone. Ain't nothing happened. 4 more years come back, he trying to pimp us to vote for Kamala Harris.
Right.
He wasn't even a brother or sister. She not even a brother or sister. She's an East Indian. The scriptures tell us what? Not to put king over us that is not of Israel and that the Most High did not choose. But because we are homeborn slave, we believe everything our oppressor tells us. Everything that's happening over in Gaza has already happened to us. The difference between them, right, is they standing up and they fighting. We not. Now, I don't mean we got to go out there and physically pick up arms and start, unaliving people. That's not what we're talking about. The scriptures tell us to do what? What the scriptures tell us to do? You ain't gonna get it wrong. Go ahead.
I need a question.
I said, what does divide? Listen, listen. We have that power to change our condition, right?
Oh, what the scripture say, gather yourself together.
Gather yourself together. Yeah, gather together. We just said that. Just said that Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Gather together, O nation not desired. And what we always say, the first thing we always say is, we have to first understand that we are a nation not desired, especially by these other nations. History has proven itself. We've been into the Egyptian captivity, the Babylonian captivity, the Assyrian captivity, the Roman captivity. And every one of those captivities and the captivities there before those, the same thing has happened to us. We always fall in. Every time they talk about a brother or sister in the Bible in any of those captivities, I'm a Roman, I'm an Assyrian. We do the Assyrian Hebrew, right? Where did that come from? That came from the Assyrian captivity.
If I could,
We always adapt to where we are. You understand? And we always fall into that thing that has hold over us or that has us in captivity. You understand? We always got brothers and sisters that make strides to advance in that captivity. It has happened in every captivity. This is how they keep us in captivity. Because if they think about this, right? How many times have you seen somebody make it, and then our oppressor turn around and say, "Well, if he can do it, you can do it. Well, if Diddy made it, you can make it." Think about it, right? So then what we say to ourselves, like, damn, you know what? He right. It's not like that. Only a few of us are allowed to make it like that. You see how they let Diddy go up and now he down, right? You know where that name came from? You know where Diddy came from? You know who gave him that name? Biggie gave him that name. I'm just sidebarring, but he gave him that name. You know why he gave him that name? He was clowning him. You know how he was clowning him? You know where Diddy came from? That word Diddy? Donkey Kong. Remember Diddy Kong? He called him Diddy. He was clowning him. He was clowning him and it stuck with him. Now look at the clown. Well, this is what America's doing to us right now. America's clowning us. Every time an election comes around and they get a Megan Thee Stallion to go up there and shake her rump, you understand? Or twerk and everything like that, they Diddying us. They clowning us. Go ahead.
Hey, I just seen, I fell asleep to it. This joint was long, so I was watching Kamala Harris. She was in Texas. She had Beyonce, sports. You saying? She had Beyonce, she had Kelly Rowe in the back of her, and she had Jessica Alba up there.
Mm-hmm.
I went to sleep to it, and I woke up. The joint was so long that I had political dreams.
Right.
Man, I was like, I woke up and Jessica Alba was still talking. Like, I don't know if it replayed, like, but it just kept going.
Because it's a show.
And it was live.
It's a show. If I bring Beyonce, I know you gonna vote for me.
Yeah.
You feel me? I'm not saying you specifically, sis, but this is the catch, right? Because what happens, think about this, you know she was having a problem with black men, right?
Kamala?
Yeah. She having a problem with the vote from black men, right? So what do? If you having a problem with the vote from black men, what do?
pander to black women.
Black.
There you go.
Black women.
Let's go to Genesis. Y'all know where we going?
Real quick.
What you got? What you got?
You were saying about the captivity, right? About us being in all these different captivities. So like the oppressor will try to use, often they'll try to use that everybody, slavery was all around the world at all points in civilization, right? But we the only ones that were slaves at all points in civilization.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they're trying to use it like all civilizations around the world have slaves. No, we was from slaves. You know what I'm saying? The Irish were slaves. You know, like, but
Well, listen,
that's besides-
listen. Even if they was, the slavery that they went through wasn't the slavery. Listen, a lot of those Irish was in what? Servitude.
Yeah, but I mean, they
Servitude is different from slavery.
you got to go free.
right? All you got to do is show me where they was hanging Irishmen, or show me where they was lynching them and hanging them and whipping them, right? One thing I do know, I ain't never seen no pictures of it. I don't even see it in history books. You understand what I'm saying? Everything that happened to the oppressor is in a history book. You understand what I'm saying?
We got Vlad and Bailey, and then we got, you know what I'm saying, certain executioners, but for the most part, that shit still was for us.
Listen, check this out. We going on our slavery. We ain't worried about the oppressor. When oppressors oppress an oppressor, that's a family issue.
If I could, bro. So the thing is, even if there was no footage of nothing about nobody else's slavery, our slavery, we still wear that in our language, in our talk, in our every
There you go. That's the most important thing that's in your DNA. You understand? When that police, you know you clean, but when that police pull up behind you, you know absolutely anything can happen. You understand? You ever see how the police pull up behind an oppressor? What they do? They jump out the car with the police. Did you see the lady at the I don't know, she got into an accident. I think they showed it on what's her name, right? But she got in an accident. And then she yelling and screaming at the police. Stop following me. Stop following me. I'm calling my husband right now. You understand? If that had been a sister, she would have been yanked up, yoked, handcuffed, and everything. You understand what I'm saying? We going to Genesis, that 3rd chapter. And like I said, they bring all of those Beyoncés and all of these women out here to appeal to sisters because they can't get to the brothers, but they know if they get to the sisters, they can get to the brothers. And it happens to us all the time. Listen, when we out of order, this is what the oppressor and this is what the devil knows he can do to us. You understand? Let me know when you get that. Genesis chapter 3, and we're going to start at, well, let's see. Let me see. Start at verse 6.
Genesis chapter 3 and 6. When the woman saw that the tree was good for food.
You hear that? It says, when the woman saw that the tree was good for food. That's when it speaks of trees in the Bible, it's talking about other nations. Right. You understand? When it's talking about the other nations, it's talking about food. It's talking about what? When it's talking, we know that when it's talking about trees, it's talking about other nations, right? When it's talking about food, it says, and when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, what does that mean? No. Knowledge, customs, culture, and everything like that. When it's speaking of food, think about it, right? When it's talking about, you ever heard food for thought? Food. You understand? It's not talking about something to put into your mouth, sis. You know what I mean? It's talking about the knowledge that they get from these other nations, dropping and falling into Islam, stuff like that, falling into Christianity. We know that that's our oppressors, you understand, religion. You understand? Falling into Buddhism, falling into any atheism. You understand? That Egyptology, all of that dumb crap, that means nothing. What can Egyptology do to bring us up out of this hell that we in right now?
So food could be synonymous for ways.
Who?
Food can be synonymous for ways then, right?
Ways?
Because
name a way.
Where it says, come out of her, my people, be not particulars of our sins and something about her ways, something like that.
Think about this, right? It says,
the customs of America.
Hold that, right. But when it says, come out of her, my people, just like we just said, come out of her customs, come out of her culture, just like you said, come out of her ways. All of that's tied in. That's the same thing. Coming out of her ways or custom or culture. You understand? We fall into customs and culture easy. Islam is an easy thing to fall into for us. You understand? Because we don't know who we are, because we don't have an identity, it's easy for us to fall into anything. And that's the reason why we fall into anything. And then when we get together as brothers and sisters, we always bickering and going back and forth because one person believes this, another person believes that. We all tore up in the head. when we always had our customs and culture right here in this Bible. The difference is that Bible was taught to us as the oppressor sees it. Our oppressor has no soul. So he takes everything in the Bible literally. He can't see what we see. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Go ahead.
Like you were saying about it, so Christianity would be our custom default, right? And then once you realize that nothing in Christianity makes sense, and you go seeking outside of that, the
It's
first
not-
thing you're gonna come encounter is Islam.
I can't call it a default.
I mean, but that's what our
It's
parents
not.
was doing. That's what
Yeah,
I said.
yeah. It's not a default though. It's something that we should never have been in.
But it was something that was forced on us too. Though.
Yeah, it was forced on us, but it's still is that just because it was forced on you doesn't mean that it's a default. It's not.
As far as our conditions in America.
That's not what we fall to though. That's not our fault. You understand what I'm saying? That's not the thing that we fall back on. You understand? That's a default. That's a fault. You understand? It's not something that we fall back on. It's just like Islam, it's just like Buddhism, it's just like any other religion. Remember, what we believe is not a religion. We believe in truth. You understand? Truth is a way of life. Truth is morality. You understand? We live by laws, statutes, and commandments. We have a moral compass. You understand? We have a moral code. We live by what's in this Bible. That Bible is not a hocus pocus. That Bible doesn't tell us, you understand, if when you die, you're gonna go to heaven and you're gonna be up there with all your family members that died and everything like that. That's not what the Bible tells us. The Bible tells us to follow the laws, statutes, and commandments. We do what the Most High tells us to do. You understand? Go ahead.
To clarify what I meant by default,
Go ahead.
that's what you raised them. So it's
Right.
like, that's what you see growing up. Like we don't grow up just not believing in God. Like
Right.
We already the scriptures say you got zeal for God, but not according to God.
Think about this,
So
right?
what you growing up and what you seeing at 4 or 5 years old, you going to church.
Right.
Like,
Listen.
That's why I said that's the default. because
Listen now.
That's what you first introduced to.
Now think about the brothers and sisters that grew up with Islam. It's a lot of them out here. Because we got brothers that's raising their kids in Islam right now. We got brothers that's raising their kids in Buddhism. We got brothers raising their kids in believing that they're, in nothing. You understand that you created the earth. You created it. You did this, you did that. Ain't no God. We got brothers believing that. That's why I said it's no default. It's either truth or it's nothing. You understand what I'm saying? That's why I was saying it's no default. I understand what you're saying though. But there is no default. It's only one thing. It's only one truth. You understand what I'm saying? It's either, remember, think about it, right? The scriptures tell us what? You either hot or you cold. There is no lukewarm. You either right or you wrong. That's the only way it go. You understand? What you got? Oh, yeah. Let's get to this. You got that Genesis? Go ahead. Oh, that's where we was at. Go ahead.
So I'm starting from the top. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise.
Think about it. Hear what they said, right? And a tree, and a tree to be desired to make one wise. Women love to be wise. We know that. Women. I ain't gonna say, well, your ribs sitting there, right? But women think they know everything. You can't tell a woman nothing. Listen, let her get a PhD. Oh, that's a wrap. You can't tell her nothing. Listen, our women ain't even got to have PhD, but you can't tell them nothing anyway. You understand what I'm saying? The serpent knows. The devil knows, our oppressor knows that if he appeals to that wisdom that a woman wants, he can get anything out of her he wants. So if an oppressor brings a woman to that stage that our women see and appeals to our women, they know, go ahead, finish reading. I don't want to get too far.
You don't want to finish your point?
No, because I didn't want to go too far. Go ahead.
And the tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof and did eat, And gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat.
Right. Because when the woman takes on something, and if the man is not in order, he tends to follow his woman. And when we tend to follow our women, we tend to fail, we tend to fall.
We bring that up all the time at camp when a sister come up and start, oh no, but brother come up and start asking questions, and he with his woman, and his woman start pulling him away, he go walk up.
Right.
And we always say, bro, you know what I'm saying? That happened all the time.
Or his woman gets irate.
And
Like-
he got, like how Susie was.
Like Susie was.
Yeah, Susie was, yeah.
Right, like the oppressor's woman was. He came up, he got a little bitter, but then when he calmed himself down, then his woman went totally off. She went straight Karen to the third power. All three of them. We got attacked from the front by two and one from the back.
Well, she would really just want, she really ain't want us to one from the back. I can speak.
No, listen. It wasn't what she did, it's what she was saying.
She just wanted us to not see.
You know what I'm saying? How do you know? Because if you say that, well, what if my children?
Yeah, that's what she was saying. It's children out there.
It wasn't that she just didn't want us to say goddamn. She didn't want us speaking, period.
That's exactly what it was.
You understand?
That's how
See, you have the beast comes at you in different ways.
right.
One will come at you all out beast mode, and one will come at you subtle, like we talk right here, subtle. Oh, what if my children? She said, what if my children? Where are your children? I saw you walk all the way up the pier with no kids. But the whole thing is, if I can get him to calm down and shut up and not say anything, then my work is done. You understand? We have to understand the mind of the beast. You understand? The beast comes in many ways.
What about her kids when they was out there trick-or-treating? All the pedophiles.
Right.
On Somerset Plaza.
That Becky didn't have any kids out there.
At all.
At all.
I didn't see
You
no
understand?
Kids. She was by herself and she walked up, so I didn't see no kids.
She didn't have no kids at all, but the whole point is this is the way that they act. And this is the way that they remind us that we are enslaved. Because had we came at them the way that they came at us, we would have been locked up. You understand? We would have been locked up. They were there for, I want to say, 15, almost 20 minutes, raising hell like that. We would have been gone. 2 or 3 minutes of it, and the police would have been there, and we would have been gone. That's how you know we slaves. We are not afforded the same opportunities as our oppressor. Like I said, we live in America. We are not of America, but we're in America. And we see the ways of America. We know that we have to pull ourselves out of America. What did the scripture you said earlier? Come out of her, my people. You understand? Come out of America. Come out of her ways. We go out there to speak to our people. Now, if you overhear the conversation between us and our people and you decide to stop, then that's on you. You understand? But like I said, if the tables had been turned, we would have been locked up. We would have been done. You understand what I'm saying? Go ahead, finish reading that for me.
Verse 7. That was in verse 6. Verse 7. And the eyes of them both were open.
And the eyes of them both were open. Listen, what does that mean by when it says the eyes of them both were open?
They both seen their error in their ways.
That's partially right. That's partially right. Go ahead.
I don't know, because I don't think, cause they didn't have no error until they saw the other. They saw all the other belief systems and how cool it was and how they had idols and they could see like they can touch a God and
Right.
you know what I mean, protect the God and clean the God and all that, you know what I mean, all that paganism. Like this.
Hey, did you leave the door? Is the door still open downstairs? Was the door still open, sis?
Yeah, I did.
can see it from right
Yeah,
here.
it's right there.
Okay.
That's like,
Yeah.
we can see though. I'm looking right here.
All right.
Like we knew we wasn't like we wasn't like everybody else.
Right.
Like
All right.
we knew like that.
Read it. Read it. Read it again.
Top of verse 7. And the eyes of them both were open.
And
They
I
knew it.
wait a minute. Go ahead.
And they knew that they were naked.
Stop right there. And the eyes of them both were open, and they knew that they were naked. What does that mean? And the eyes of both of them were open, and they knew that they were naked.
And they knew that they had sinned.
They knew they had sinned. They knew they fell out of the truth. They knew that they had fell away from the Most High. They understood that they were naked. Now see what they did after that.
Come. And they, oh damn. And they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves ignorant.
They sewed fig leaves together. What is a fig leaf? It's a leaf off of a tree, right?
Right.
So what did they cover themselves with?
That's what I was about to say.
There you go. There you go. They covered themselves.
Because if you're looking at it, it's a lot. If you're looking at the same context, the tree,
Right.
the nation, then the leaves is going to be, you know what I'm saying?
The customs and the culture of another nation. See, we grew up, and this is the reason why Christianity has destroyed us. When we grew up, we was always told they took leaves from a tree and they made themselves clothes, and now they all right. You know what I mean? And this is when you reading through the Bible, you begin to understand certain things are metaphors and things like that, and we have to get understanding.
So then the apron will be like an idol?
No, it's just the same thing. It's just the customs and culture.
Okay.
You understand? The custom, you cover yourself. You cover yourself in the customs and culture. We cover ourselves in the spirit of America. You heard people say that, right? Covering yourself in the spirit of America. How do you cover yourself in the spirit of America? How do you cover yourself in the spirit of America? Celebrating.
4th of July.
There you go.
And a flag shirt.
I pledge allegiance. When you pledge allegiance, that's covering yourself in America. You pledge your allegiance away from. Listen, when we pledge our allegiance to America, we further enslave ourselves. We fall deeper and deeper into slavery. Because every time you say that, it takes a piece of your mind away. It makes you fall deeper and deeper into the spirit of America. I always tell y'all about back when that first Dream Team came. You understand? That Dream Team made you fall into the spirit of America. When you saw Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, all of them together destroying all the other nations, the first thing was what was the first thing we said? America's the greatest. We the best. Listen, we are the best slaves in America. The best slaves in America. Go ahead.
And I think when I was young, I used to watch wrestling, and they got the documentary with Mr. Man. Like that whole wrestling era when he had like the
Sergeant Slaughter.
slaughter, yeah.
Hold up. The Iron Sheik.
Exactly.
Because they had you hating Iran. See, and listen, the whole symbolism behind that World Wrestling Federation was to have you on America, Hulk Hogan, against Iran, the Iron Sheik.
Right.
Remember when they brought in, what's his name?
Ain't Piper from Scotland?
No, but the Russian, what was his name?
Oh,
Nikolai Volkov.
Yeah.
You understand? They brought him in. You like, oh, I hate that.
Hey, you know what's crazy? They always had on every boxing fighting, it was always a Russian saying beef.
Well, let's stop.
Street fight, it was always
Stop.
US
Wait.
versus USSR.
Hold, stop. The first game that they ever came out with, damn near the first game they came out with, Russian Attack.
Dang, that's not a nuclear game.
Russia, it was like a nuclear game, but you was like a commando.
Okay.
an American commando, and you had to go into Russia and kill all of the Russians. Well, these kind of games Americanize you, enslave you. So when you get older, when you see a Russian, the first thing you're like, oh, this is the evil empire. And when you get into school, when you start learning about these things in school, they always portray Russia, Iran, and all of them as the evil empire, the axis of evil. And who was America?
The hero.
The hero. But America was something democracy. It was something just like you said. It's something like the hero. America was always portrayed as the hero. I know I had it it's in my other book, but America was given a name. It was given to America. I know I ain't even gonna remember it, but
In the 80s?
through the 80s, through the 70s and the 80s. Listen, remember when the Soviet Union fell in 1991? The Soviet Union fell, and then it used to be called the USSR before it became Russia.
Russia, you had to fight. There's a final boss.
Yeah, but no, but I'm talking about the Cold War.
Yeah.
When Russia fell in 1990-91, it wasn't Russia, it was the USSR. Then they took on the name of Russia after that, but they built themselves up. But America was the land of the free, the home of the brave. You understand what I'm saying? So America was always portrayed as the shining light. You come here and all of your dreams will come true. Everybody lives the American reality when they come here. We are the only ones that live the American dream. Think about what's being said, right? Everybody that comes here from any poor country that you've seen, they live the American reality because they were poor where they were, but they come here, they place them in our neighborhoods, and they become rich. But we live here and we stay poor. We have to give up our very souls just to see a nugget. Look at Diddy, right? What did he have to do to get what he got? And you think about that, right? Now look where he's at. Think about Bill Cosby, right? What did he have to do to get where he was? Look at T.D. Jakes. Look at all of these people that we think have money, right? Jeff Bezos is a real billionaire. Why do I say that? Why do I say that? Mark Zuckerberg, a real billionaire. Why do I say that? What's the other guy? Elon Musk, a real billionaire. Why do I say that? Because if somebody tells Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos, who's the one selling the book that Kyrie Irving looked at and put on his whistling? On Amazon. That's Jeff Bezos, right? And Jeff Bezos tell him, I'm gonna continue to sell that. They didn't take billions or millions from him, did they? But all Kyrie Irving did was posted it on his page, and they took millions from him. They did Kanye West the same way, right? Look at what's happening to Diddy right now. We look at our brothers and sisters as though they are real billionaires. They're not. Anytime somebody can take something from you because of something you said, you're not a real billionaire. We got to understand that they put them there so that they can say, well, you can't say y'all don't have billionaires. Look at them. If they can do it, you can do it.
If I could, what's weird about the Kyrie situation? This nigga just posted the link. They didn't go after the billionaire who's the distributor of the goddamn link.
Right.
They didn't go after.
Hold, stop, stop,
They
stop,
wanted
stop.
to post upside
Stop, stop,
down.
stop, stop, stop. Listen. They did.
They went after Bezos?
He said he not taking it down.
You did just say that.
Yeah. He said he not. Did they take billions from him?
That's my point.
Because we are slaves. See, we keep thinking, oh, we all the same. See, and that's another thing right there.
No, that's my point was slide.
Hold, no, stop. Hold up. Wait, hold your peace. We think that we're the same. We keep falling for the lies of America. We keep falling and thinking, oh, we all the same. Ain't no difference. It is a difference. We are slaves and they not. Think about this, right? Listen, think about this, right? If we were actually free, if we were actually citizens of America, why are we still fighting for civil rights? Think about it. They said all citizens have rights, right? All citizens have rights under the laws of America. So why are we still fighting for civil rights? After the 1950s, they started fighting for civil rights in the 30s. The first civil rights movement happened in the 20s. So you mean we into the second civil rights movement and we still ain't got any rights? Think about it. They just down in Florida said, we not teaching critical race theory. What's critical race theory? Critical race theory is true American history. Critical race theory shows all the oppressors' children what their parents really are. So they said, we're not teaching that. What we're going to teach is that there was no transatlantic slave trade, but a transatlantic migration. What's a migration?
Voluntary.
What?
Voluntary.
Voluntary. That means you came here voluntarily. So they're changing history, right? And think about this, right? When we go out, we always talk about how the oppressor whitewashed history in the Renaissance era, right?
I gave you that term.
You gave who what term?
Iconoclasm.
Who?
That's called iconoclasm.
Iconoclasm. I didn't say iconoclasm.
That's the term, though.
No, I didn't say it. Look, he said, I gave you that.
I did, though.
I didn't say it. What did I say?
I gave you this term.
What did I say? Did I say iconoclasm?
Not just nothing.
I can barely say it. I know I ain't saying the word I can barely say. Listen, in the Renaissance era, they whitewashed history. We're actually living in a point of history right now where they're whitewashing history once again. This is an important time that we living in right now. We watching them actually whitewash history. Think about what's going on over there in Gaza, right? You're watching, what do they call it? When you wiping out the people.
Genocide.
You're watching the genocide. Well, what about ours? You see how everybody gonna remember this right here. But why doesn't anybody remember that right there? You see what I'm saying? We stand up and we say, pray for Gaza, pray for the Palestinians, pray for France, pray for the Ukrainians and all of that. But nobody stands up and says, pray for us. Because we're a true slave.
We can't even talk about it.
You can't. Well, that's why they're trying to whitewash it, and that's why they're trying to take it out of the history books now. That's why they're changing it to the transatlantic migration now. Because eventually, if you don't teach your children, if you don't teach yours, you don't teach yours, you don't teach yours, and then they don't teach theirs, eventually, this is going to be how life is. We're going to be living just like those babies in Gaza. That's how our descendants are going to be coming up like, this is normal life. Oh, they come out and mow the lawn often. Oh, don't worry about it. Just stay out of their way. Just make sure you don't get hit. You understand? Mowing the lawn. You good?
Yeah, no, yeah, kind
Oh, all right. Everything all right?
of. Yeah, no, I'm tripping.
Oh, okay. But let's think about it, right? Look at what's happening right now. We living in a point of time in history right now that should never be forgotten. If you don't teach your children, if we don't teach our children, we're gonna be just like them. Difference is they fighting back. When we gonna stand up and start fighting back? When we gonna stop fighting for other people and fight for ourselves? When we gonna stop putting people over us? Putting other nations of people over us? We already had an African over us in Obama. Now we putting the East Indian over us in Kamala Harris, or an oppressor like we always do. We destroyed as a people. Where we at? That was it. That was it on that one that you just grabbed right there.
You want me to get what you just said? We destroyed as a people?
No. Let that go. You understand? And think about it, right? Why are we still in the condition that we in right now? Why are we still in the condition we in?
Because now it refuses to hearken to the voice
Of the Lord thy God. That's true, yeah. But it's another reason why, because we talked about some of the people just earlier. Our leadership.
the gates.
Yeah, our gates languish. You understand? Our gates are destroyed, are broken. Matter of fact, let's grab that. Grab that if you can.
Okay, I had a question real quick.
Go ahead, what's your question?
Can I get a breakdown on verse 11?
On verse 11.
When he said, who told you that she was naked?
Who told you that you was naked?
But you said the gates had a language? That's 14 to 2.
Yeah, 14:2. Think about what he's saying, right? He said, who told thee that thou was naked? You understand?
Right.
Nobody had to tell you that you was naked. You know when you step out of the truth of the Most High.
That get me conscious.
Yeah, that you told yourself.
Right.
You understand? You know when you step out of celebrating the Passover into stepping over and celebrating Easter.
So this was rhetorical when you asked it.
Right.
Come on, conscious.
You got that?
Yeah, come on. It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 14, verse 2. It said, Judah mourneth.
Who's Judah?
Salah.
Who's Judah?
Yeah,
Judah. Judah is Judah in this part is the whole tribe.
the whole tribe.
Yeah, we from the tribe of Judah, but when it talks about Judah right here, we talking about the whole tribe, all 12 tribes.
Talking about everybody.
Everybody.
The whole family.
Right, the whole family. Read that again.
Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish.
It says Judah mourneth. Let me ask you this. Is those small hats mourning? Are they mourning?
No.
They're not mourning.
They will be.
Yeah, they will be. That's what we're waiting on right now. But it says Judah mourneth, right? And the gates thereof languish. What does that mean? I know you know what that means. Go ahead. Huh?
The leadership in our community has led us astray.
Led us astray.
And they lacking, and they never been what black people need.
They broken. They destroyed. You understand? Just like you said, they leading us astray. They languish. You understand? We got no use for the gates. The gates are supposed to protect us. They're either supposed to keep us in or keep something out. You understand? But those gates are broken. They languish. They letting everything in to attack us. You understand? Look how we have fallen apart. Look how our leadership has led us into Christianity, into Islam, into Buddhism. You understand? Just like we said, look how many brothers is studying Egyptology now. You understand? Believing that we Africans. Think about this, right? And I asked somebody a couple of months ago, you understand? If we African, and you know the Africans started about 5 years ago apologizing for slavery. Yeah, yeah. They've been apologizing for slavery, but who they apologizing to?
The wrong niggas.
Who?
They apologize to other Africans.
No.
I don't know about this.
They apologizing to us. Think about it. If a Kenyan stole somebody from a Ghana, right? Wouldn't they? That's what you would think they would be apologizing to the other African nations, but they not.
They apologize to us.
They apologizing to the Negroes in America because they know that they didn't steal Africans.
And that's the narrative that they
Exactly. That's a narrative that has been told to us. That's why we believe we're African. When you call somebody African American enough, they'll believe that they're African. We'll believe that we're from Africa. We'll believe that we're Guyanese or what they call somebody from Ghana. You know what I'm talking about.
no.
You understand?
Sierra Leone,
Or
all that.
Kenyan or Ethiopian and all of that. And then the thing about it is, all it takes is for we could see one African that looked like a nigga, and we were like, boy, see, I told you we was from there.
The Nigerians.
But stop. They got pictures of Chinese people that look like black people. They got pictures of Hawaiians that look like black people. And I'm talking about the darker skinned ones.
The Samoans.
Yes. I'm talking about the Chinese too. Because the dark skinned Chinese people live in those bush countries way out in the back. They don't show them. They only show you the Xi Jinpings and the Kim Jong-uns. Do you see the ones that look real high yellow? You understand what I'm saying? Because America has destroyed the earth, period, to the point where everybody gets judged by the color of their skin. The lighter you are, the more prominent you are. Think about it. Even in India, they have a caste system. They have a caste system with women with their breasts, and they have a caste system by color. The lighter you are, the more prominent you are. That's just how it is. That's slavery. We are slaves. We are homeborn slaves. But we're trying to wake our people up. What's that right there? Xi Jinping hot sauce?
That little pack you get, that's the best hot sauce in the world.
Oh, you talking about the little Chinese food hot sauce?
Egg food, you get the egg roll.
No, Crystal is the best. Crystal is the best.
It's the best hot sauce.
Crystal is the
This
best.
is that New York fried
Hey,
chicken.
listen, I ain't even gonna beef with you on that right here. We'll talk about that later.
It's a lot.
But think about what's happening right now. Everything's on a caste system.
Right.
You understand? Where we at? What scripture you got?
That was 14 and 2. We was done on that.
That 14 and 2?
We was done on Genesis 3 and 7 too.
Right. Okay. All right. Let's grab
That was Jeremiah 14 and 2.
I fell back. Oh, Isaiah. Let's go First Maccabees chapter 1 verse 11.
That's my language right here. That's my language right here.
This is we just talked about First Maccabees chapter 1 verse 11. Remember we just talked about the languishing. We just talked about our leadership. We just talked about the weak leadership, right? Well, First Maccabees is a product of that leadership. It's an example right here. You understand? Go ahead.
This first Maccabees 1 and 11. In those days, when they're out of Israel, wicked men.
Say that again.
In those days, when they're out of Israel, wicked men.
It says, in those days went there out of Israel wicked men, meaning that in Israel, in our nation, there were wicked men. There were wicked men leading us. You understand? It says, in those days went there out of Israel wicked men. We had leadership way back then. That's been one of our but it's been one of our characteristics. You understand? Of having wicked leaders. You understand? Even in the Exodus with Moses, you had men that didn't want to leave Egypt. because they had it so good. And that's how nations do us, and that's how nations capture us. Because they'll take a few of us and put us in prominent positions, and then those few will talk the rest to stay right where we are and to stay in that captivity. You understand what I'm saying? Just like you got all of these prominent black women standing up for Kamala Harris, feeding that dream, feeding that American spirit right back to us, covering us back in America.
And I was saying, like, on verse 11, like, they talking about the leaders because anybody can be with you. But you don't get to persuade people.
No, 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 no. You moving too fast. You gonna get your time. Alizar, you see what he did? You see what he did? You got your time. You gonna get your time. But just like I said, that's been a characteristic of us since the beginning. We've always had wicked people with us. You understand what I'm saying? Just like I said, even with Moses, he had men that were prominent in Egypt, that were living the high life in Egypt, that was talking people, let's go back to Egypt. At least there we had it good. You understand what I'm saying? Right. They always say we had it good, but it's them that had it good. Slaves like, yo, anywhere better than this. You understand? Let's go. Right. You feel me? Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, but I was gonna say, like, it's easy for somebody with like some status to talk you into something. Like Beyonce, like she could just say, like, come on, man, we got it good. Like, come on, like it was better here. You still, even though you know that her life was way better than yours,
right?
But it's still you like this. Yeah, I know shit.
Listen, and just what you just said is the reason why they use them, because they know we look up to them. Right. And just like right here in the Bible, they know we look up to our leaders, and they know that our leaders, just like you said, can persuade us. You understand? Back into slavery, back into voting again, back into putting the people over us that will rule over us with an iron fist. Vote or die. Where he at now? You see? But think about it, right? You see exactly. You see how it's. Listen, this perpetuates itself over and over and over again. We fall for the same thing every 4 years, every 2 years. We fall for this. We keep putting, think about it, right? Baltimore City is a black city. We got black commissioners, we got black mayors, we got black city councilmen, we got black police officers and everything. And still, we are the least in Baltimore City. They take the most from us because we keep being persuaded by our wicked leaders.
This year, you got niggas thinking that they so-called waking up by choosing the red side. Like, they really look at it like, oh, this some type of awakening. Like, we've been lied to by the Democrats. Let's try the Republicans. Like,
check this out. You know what?
Get the same result.
You know what that's called?
Stockholm Syndrome.
It's called a double reverse. Double reverse. Reverse. You know what I mean? We feel like, think about it, right? We just asked about it the other day. We just asked about it while we was at camp, right? I just asked that same question, right? How is it a choice?
You did say that when you bring it up.
If they choosing two people for you to choose from, how is that a choice? Like we said, we would choose Commanding General Yohana.
That's exactly what you said.
Right? But they didn't choose him. They chose two people that they knew were going to further their cause. This is slavery. Because you never really got a choice. It's the illusion of inclusion, but you never really got a choice. They do the cup game. Where's that? You understand? Ain't never been no ball under none of the cups.
That's like a game that's on Ocean City where you walk it up.
Yeah,
Like a hustle game.
right. But
Yeah, who's the
but that's it. You understand?
That's deep as hell.
That's tough.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I just brought that up. That was deep.
No ball under the
There was no ball.
But that's how it always has been. Think about it, right? We've been voting for since the 1950s, and we still in the same condition that we was in the 1950s. Gave up everything that we had just to be integrated into a people that will hate us for life. Go ahead.
I got Isaiah chapter 47, verse 6. I was wroth with my people. I had polluted my inheritance and given them into the hand, into thine hand.
Say that again. What was that? Isaiah what?
Isaiah chapter 47, verse 6.
Go ahead. Read that again.
I was wroth with my people.
Mm-hmm.
I had polluted my inheritance.
How do you pollute your inheritance? Go ahead.
By following the customs of these other nations.
Go ahead. There you go. Go ahead.
And given them into thy hand. Thou didst show them no mercy.
Do we get mercy from the oppressor? No mercy from the oppressor.
No ball under the cup.
No ball under the cup.
Upon thy ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke.
Look, we got to work 2 and 3 jobs.
Good man.
Got to work overtime just to struggle to make ends meet. Think about the people that's working 2 jobs, struggling. You understand? To take care of family and everything else.
Right.
Y'all good, sis? Y'all all right? All right. Y'all quiet over there. Go ahead. What you guys say?
Nah, that was
I appreciate on what you talking about right now.
Go ahead. What you telling me?
So like, go ahead, finish your point. So like, you get,
No, I'm listening to you.
whatever.
Looks like he threw his hand up and said, I gotta
Hold
read
up.
it. I gotta read
It's
it.
Baruch 3 and 8.
Hold up.
3 and 8.
Baruch 3 and 8.
No, what was you just saying though? You were saying that,
I'm waiting for you.
this Baruch 3 and 8.
Look, he wasting time. Go ahead.
Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments.
Hey, listen. We in captivity right now, spread all over the earth. You understand? We in captivity right now, spread all over the earth. Go ahead.
Where thou hast scattered us for reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments, according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our God.
And that's why we in the condition we in, because our forefathers have departed, and we have departed ourselves. You understand? But this truth stands with us right now. This is how we get back on the good side. This is how we get back on the right side, coming into this truth. You understand? The Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge has the truth. We just got to come in here and get some kind of understanding. And that's why we go out there. That's why we was out Ocean City, to wake our people up. You understand? We got people out there too.
Right.
And they was stopping and they was listening. You understand? For a while. It got a little buck out there, but it was nice to be back out there. It's nice to see our people starting to wake up too.
I know the black dude at the cheesesteak spot was out there for like at least 2 hours.
The who?
At the cheesesteak spot that was directly across from where the cheesesteak spot.
The dude.
Tony, the black dude.
Yeah.
He was out there for like 2 hours.
Yeah, Tony Lutz.
Tony Leaks. He was out there for like 2 hours.
Yeah, he was out there. He sat out there the whole time.
That's the average. Tony Leaks. I wanna-
You know, he missed a couple of customers too. Yeah.
Yeah, because he was out there watching us.
Right. He said he didn't even care that day. Where was we at?
That was-
Go
that
back
was
to
all
that. Where was we at on the other one? Back to the other one. This was on First Maccabees.
Yeah, first match of these 3, you had what, 3 and what?
I said no. I said
11 and 1?
no. Listen. First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 11.
That's what it was. Come. In those days, there went out Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen.
Hey, listen. This is what we do all the time. We always making covenants with the heathen. We always making covenants with the oppressor. And making covenants with the oppressor is what gets us into slavery. You understand? Think about, let's take it down to the minute, right? Let's take it down to something simple. Look at all of the brothers that get into that rap game, right? And then sign those contracts with those heathens. And what happens at the end of their career? They broke. Why? How did Michael Jackson die broke? How did Whitney Houston die broke? You understand? How did all of these people that had billions, they said Prince died broke? How? He got robbed. Let us go make a covenant with the heathen.
So these are same heathen that we done made treaties with, the Native Americans made treaties with.
Right. That's Psalms 55, 20, and 21.
That's what I'm looking
You understand? Psalm 55, 20, and 21. You understand? He had put forth his hand as such that be at peace with him.
for. It was 55. You said 55 what?
55, 20, and 21.
Come.
And listen, it says, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. Not only are we making covenants with the oppressor, right? We make a covenant with every one of those Asians that come into our neighborhoods, then they have us enslaved. All of those Arabs that come in, hold your peace. All of those Arabs that come into our neighborhood, we make peace with them. The Ethiopians, all of them that come into our neighborhoods and they sell to us and don't give us anything back. They watch our neighborhoods fall. Then they go out to North Potomac. Ain't that North Potomac? North Potomac. And they got communities out there. Beautiful.
If I could, please let me get this point. You said they make covenants with the heathen that are around us, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm watching this. So, you ever see the store where there be a bunch of niggas outside the store?
Mhm.
They paying the niggas inside the store to sell their drugs right now.
Mm-hmm. That ain't nothing new.
They paying the Arabs that run the tobacco store when you go in and get your blunts. They giving these niggas $300 a day to sell their weed inside the store.
Right.
I'm telling you this. When you go in the store, some niggas in the store with book bags full of pounds of weed, they pay the nigga off already to be in there.
Stop. Listen.
I'm
That
sorry,
is
I just had to
that
bring
is
it up.
nothing new. That's nothing new. Who's bringing the coke and the dope in?
JP Morgan.
Them same Arabs and everybody that's in your neighborhood. They just caught the Chinese people coming across the Mexican border with all the fentanyl and everything. Yeah. Think about. See, listen. We getting too caught. Listen. You getting too deep with that J.P. Morgan and all of that. It's simple.
Right.
It's simple. The Asians and the East Indians have the highest rate of illegal immigrants in America.
That's a fact.
They don't get what's named out. Why? Because America knows that they're bringing those drugs in, and they need them in here. You understand what I'm saying? They come over here, don't know any language or anything. Pull Psalms 83 and give me the third verse.
Uh,
Psalms 83, give me verse 3.
Come. It's the book of Psalms, chapter 83, and verse 3. It said they have
You ain't got it.
I
You ain't got it yet.
I
Yo,
don't
listen.
do it, but I'm like, what is this?
Hey, yo,
They have to
listen.
take crack
Hey,
counseling.
Alizar.
That's
Get
a
out,
prayer.
get out the way. Get out. Alizar, give me that, Alizar. He gonna play like, yo, I got it.
I had that.
I got it.
That's a prayer, man. Yeah, taking crack and counsel.
I was going off him. Now I gotta get it.
Oh, now you gotta get it.
Thinking like I had it the whole time.
Go ahead. Hit me with
I
that.
didn't have those.
You got it? 3.
That's not it, man. Yes, said, come and let us cut them off from the mission.
Psalms chapter 83. This is gonna be the last one right here. Last scripture. You got turn. You got.
I got 3 of them on there. So like this is Psalm chapter 83 verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
Hey, listen. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people. They have taken crafty counsel against us. Go ahead.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
Of course, we know who the hidden ones are, right? We the ones that are the hidden ones. We the ones that don't understand or know who we are. We are the hidden ones. Go ahead.
They have said, come and let us cut off, and let us cut them off from being a nation.
And they have done just that. They cut us off from being a nation. That's why we don't know who we are. That's why we fall into all of these other things. This is the reason why we are enslaved today. We are enslaved to every nation's religion that we fall into. Go ahead.
That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
And that's what we believe. We don't even believe that we were Israel. You understand? Another nation has taken our identity and is using it for evil. Go ahead.
Verse 5. For they consulted against thee. For they have consulted together with one consent.
All of these nations, they hate each other, but they come together on one consent. They come together to make sure that we stay exactly where we are. Go ahead.
They are confederate against thee.
It says they are confederate against thee. What does that word confederate mean?
Be ready to go to war with you.
What does the word confederate mean?
United.
No.
They're against you.
No.
They're against you, but
Listen, that word confederate means illicit or illegal. They come together to do an illicit or illegal thing against us. They come together, listen, they come together to make sure that we don't get to where we supposed to get. Confederate means illegal or illicit. What they do to us, just like you said, they got them brothers out there selling. They got them brothers, they bring that stuff in. They bring it in to put it right into our communities. Ho. You got a lot to say. You gonna get a class? You gonna get a class? I hope you be, listen, you gonna be just like that, right? Confederate means to be illegal or illicit, to do an illicit thing. Listen, to do an illicit or illegal thing against a person or people. That's what confederate means. These nations come over here and they come together. And they become confederate against us to make sure we stay in the condition that we're in. Kamala Harris, an East Indian, got Beyonce and all of them out there rounding us up, bringing us back in under the American illusion. They had, what's her name, Megan Thee Stallion out there twerking the week before. Because why? Because they know our sisters going to see that, and they know that our sisters are already tied up in that. That's going to bring them out. That'll make the sisters do what they got to do. I got you. Go. You answered enough already. You answered enough. Let me hear from Alizar. Go ahead. Go ahead, Alizar. Go ahead.
It say, you know what I mean, joint by an agreement or treaty.
Right.
So
But if you go down a little further,
Yeah, I see that. I see the second one.
there you go. Illegal or illicit. They come together with a treaty. They come together to make sure that they are against us. You understand? Just like we said, listen, those illegal drugs come in not just by our oppressor, but by these other nations. Think about it. How many times have you been into an Arab store and they ain't got nothing on the shelves? How they here all these years with nothing on the shelves? Do you believe they truly making it by just having a couple of rolls of toilet paper over there? Think about it. You understand? We don't go through toilet paper like that, do we? So what could it be? They know what they're doing. How do you think these drugs get into all our neighborhoods like that? I mean, the drug man just don't come around and just drop a crate of drugs and roll out.
Say, let us deal wisely with them.
Yeah, they dealing wisely with us. You know why? They let you do that right out in front of their store. They give you a little cut and tell you to go out there and do this for me.
That's like,
And then think about it. I'm gonna tell you how silly we are. They got cameras everywhere. Police come right in and say, "Can I get the footage on that camera right there?" And they give it right to them. You gone. You think your man told on you, but the Arab just told on you. Hey, check this out. And with that, we're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. Been bringing this truth since 1969. And what is that truth? That truth is the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives are the true biblical Jews of the Bible, and our oppressors, the devil that the Bible speaks of. And with that, I'm pass the class over to Priest and Officer Batak. Since you want to talk a lot, right? Go ahead.
Yeah, like, for our 5 viewers, right? They said, come let us deal wisely with them. And they may cut us off for being a nation. The Salak, the oppressor is so diabolical. It's insane. Like, you feel me? Well, let's get up out of here. What are security announcements? This is the security announcement book. Where is the security? Oh, you see I got my man on there. You see I highlighted his check-in. All right, it's the ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana. Start out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves with the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes is a commandment. You can find us in Numbers 18 to 21 and Malachi 3, 8 through 10. It means a tenth in Hebrew and it's pronounced Maishara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, you're supposed to get that to the Treasury Department. For example, if you get $1, the Lord gets 10 cents. If you get $100, the Lord gets $10. It's that simple. It's a priest fund. It's a free will offering for the priest. It's not mandatory. Anything you want to give to the school, to the priest, that's up to you. We got upcoming holy convocations. I don't see the sign, sir. What's the next? We got a feast coming up soon, right? We just had the closing of the Feast of Tabernacles. I don't see the sign though. We done for the year? Salaki. Reminding Aqua and Aqua to check on social media. It's ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, so on and so forth, TikTok for UPK events and materials. We got a cookout in Austin, Texas next week, I believe. That's November the 3rd. Anybody that's in Hebrew Academy, make sure you want to get there for the aquatics training. They're going to have a camera crew out there. Make sure you're there for that. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, you're supposed to wear all black. Start wearing all black boots, shirts, pants, headband, and scarf. And with that, Men of Israel Majim, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel Majim Shabbat, Rock. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Barakatah. We're going to do one turn to the sisters. Oh, that's Salaki, Yazmatah. Sar, which means turn for the sisters. Middle Israel, we're going to get one courtesy salute to the sisters. Middle Israel, Majim Shabbat, Rak, Salaki, Amajim. Yahweh Shema, Latam, Bashim, Yahweh Shah.
Men of Israel, Imajim Shabbat, Imajim.
Barak.
Yahweh Shema,
Latam, Bashim, Yahweh Shah.
Yahweh Shema,
Latam, Bashim, Yahweh Shah.
Yahweh Shah.